coming to you from my backyard for your virtual science lab today. Now, I'm really sorry that I didn't get to see you right before we left school, but today we're going to be doing some things from the lab that we would have been doing on those days. All about sound. Now, remember in first grade, we learned about the thunder tube. When this tube begins to move, I'm adding energy, and that causes the spring below it to vibrate. When I grab it, it can't vibrate anymore, and the sound stops. All sound begins with a vibration. Now, we talked about light a couple weeks ago, and I demonstrated how light waves move. Light is a form of energy that helps us to be able to see, and light waves move in what's called transverse waves, like this. Now, sound is another type of energy that allows us to hear, and sound waves look different from light waves. They are called compression waves. Let's demonstrate, Sarah. Now, when sound waves hit a surface, they can either be absorbed, or if the surface is hard and smooth, you might get an echo. How are you?
I'm fine.
No, Sarah, echo. How are you?
How are you?
So another difference between sound and light is that light doesn't even have to have matter to be able to travel. It can travel through space where there's no matter. Sound has to have matter to vibrate, such as air molecules. So that means that in space, no one can hear you scream. From kindergarten on, I've been teaching you all how to make deer ears, where you can put your hand around your ear and have all the sounds from nature or from the classroom pulled into your eardrum. You can move your ear around and even hear things better that are behind you. So go ahead now, make some deer ears and try to hear the sounds in your house or outside in nature in your backyard. Now, how in the world are we able to sit in our backyard and hear all of these wonderful sounds from nature? Ears are amazing. So when a sound starts, there's a vibration that travels to your ear canal. Inside your ear, there are tiny bones that also will get vibrated by the vibration from the sound. Those will activate tiny hairs that send a signal to your brain to let you know what sound you're hearing. Now, some animals, especially dogs, have movable ears so that they can funnel the sound waves directly into their eardrums. See how Henry moves his ears when he hears the sound. Now, special guest Andrew Nobby is going to show us how to properly hold a tuning fork, not to be confused with a pitchfork. A tuning fork is used to help tune instruments. Now, it's not used too much anymore because there's an app for that, but tuning forks are pretty cool and fun to play with. Andrew?
When you use a tuning fork, it's really important to hold it by the handle so you don't stop the vibrations. You take a striker mallet and you hit it at the top like this as hard as you can. Notice how you can see the vibrations. This tuning fork is tuned to C, which means it's 256 waves per second.
Now remember, sound is a form of energy, and energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transferred. So watch what happens when Andrew strikes the tuning fork and puts it down into water. I wish you all were here with me so you could watch very closely. Watch what happens. The water sprayed. Now, why did the water spray? Think about that. Now watch how the energy Sarah uses to strike the tuning fork is transferred from her arm to the tuning fork to the ping pong ball. Now my musical daughter Sarah is going to demonstrate a song on the glockenspiel using only 8 keys of different lengths. Now what about the glockenspiel gives those keys different pitches? Is it the color of the key? Is it what the glockenspiel keys are made from? Or is it the length of the key? Now listen carefully as Sarah strikes both red keys. Both red keys are tuned to the note C, but are different octaves. Which one has a higher pitch? The first one or the second one? Now I believe the second one has a higher pitch, but why is that? If you look carefully at the glockenspiel, you'll see that the C on this side is longer than this key on this side. Things that are smaller vibrate at a higher frequency, creating a higher pitch. Now we've talked about how the mass of an object affects the frequency at which it vibrates, affecting the pitch. Something that has a smaller mass is going to vibrate much higher. Something with a bigger mass is lower and slower. So I've filled these 2 glass bottles, which are exactly the same except for the picture on the front, with 2 different levels of water. I've colored the water green so that you can see the levels very well. Now I want you to, in a moment, pause your video and make a prediction about what you think is going to happen when I strike each one of these with a spoon. Hopefully you've made your prediction, because here we go. The one that is filled with more water, hopefully as you predicted, vibrates lower and slower, therefore it has a lower pitch than the one that has less water. Now it's time for another prediction. This time, instead of striking the bottles with a metal spoon, I'm going to blow into the bottles. Turn off your video now and make a prediction about what's going to happen. Okay, we're back. I might need Miss Tansel for this, but here it goes. The opposite happened. Why do you think the opposite happened? Now this one has a higher pitch and this one has a lower pitch. The answer is, in the first scenario, the whole bottle along with the liquid was vibrating when I tapped it with the spoon. In the second scenario, only the column of air was being vibrated. So this one has a smaller amount of air and this one has a larger amount of air, so therefore it's going to have a lower pitch. Now you can try this at home with permission from your parents. If you have drinking glasses that are all the same, you can even try up to 5 or 6 drinking glasses and put them in a line, fill them with different amounts of water, try to tune them, and play a song. 4th graders, I've sure enjoyed teaching you about sound today. I hope you've learned something new. Thank you to my family for helping out. I sure do miss you. Bye, 4th graders.